Hello everyone, my name is John Michael Bushman and welcome back to Strivin in Standard. And we're gonna take a little detour to the graveyard-ridden detour of Death Knight. This is a class that I've wanted to just make competitive. And while there are competitive decks for Death Knight in both Wild and Standard, I just can't seem to find a deck that really tickles my fancy in the Wild format. Yes, there are a couple of mid-range slash control decks for Death Knight in Wild, but from all of the discussions I've had with other people who play with the class, Death Knight is simply too young in order to really compete against the titans of this game. So, I am going to go into the format where Death Knight shines the most, at least at the current moment, and that is Standard. And what you're looking at here is possibly one of the cheapest decks you can play in the format right now. This is Hand Buff Death Knight, and yes, we are going to be getting a lot of gains today. And main game plan of the deck, very simple. This entire deck is built around Amateur Puppeteer, where if it dies, you give Undead in your hand +2/+2. Now, the reason why you don't really hear too much about this is because this was supposedly the quote-unquote secret meta deck, and because of how cheap it is. And really, the only expensive cards that you have in here are Rainbow Seamstress and Nightmare Lord Xavius, although a lot of people do say that Xavius is just a win more card in certain cases, but it does provide some semblance of consistency. And everything else in the deck is either just a rare or a common. You can build this deck for cheap, and you can see some of the golden cards here. Those are just in the core set. You don't really need to spend too much dust on this deck at all, and you can just build it without hell. You can build it without Xavius and even the Seamstress, although her lifesteal can matter in certain aggressive matchups, especially against the mirror, of course. But otherwise, this deck is just get your zombies as big as possible and smack face with it. The only little intricacies that you are going to need are Poison Breath and Darkthorn Quilter. Now, what you would usually pair Poison Breath with is the Wild Pyromancer, which is the 2-mana neutral. If we can even find it, it's letter W, unfortunately, so it's near the end. You usually pair Poison Breath with Wild Pyro here, just so that you have a very cheap, although albeit 4-mana board wipe. But Darkthorn Quilter does nearly the exact same job, and it also doesn't hit your board, so there is also that. And that's why I did consider putting in Wild Pyromancer in place of the Rainbow Seamstress, but your minions will also get hit once Poison Breath resolves its effects, so definitely don't go for that. Otherwise, the other spicy stuff that you can do is, before you even play the Amateur Puppeteer, you have the Brittlebone Buccaneer out on the field already, so that you have more than just 8 chances, because this has a miniaturize, so that you have more than just 4 chances, rather, to do the thing with it. Once you are rolling with like +10 with all of your buffs, on top of course, the Lesser Spinel's Spellstone and the Blood Tap, your zombies are gonna be really goddamn swole. And do not be afraid to just set your minions down, at least in the early game, especially if you're going to survive against the more aggressive matchups. That's what No Muncher is for. Of course, it's also built-in lifesteal, or hell, even the Renubian Swarm Guards. This is like 3 bodies in one. And a lot of stuff, actually. There are like multiple bodies in one, so same with Shambling Zombie Tank. But otherwise, yeah, do not be afraid to just, plop minions down, especially if you're gonna be fighting for board, because at least at the moment of me recording this video, it's very aggressive right now. And I have actually had games where Sanguine Infestation hard carried me. Like, the leeches are insane, and most of the time your opponent will hit into the leeches before they hit into you, so these leeches have pseudo fucking taunt, and it's amazing. But Geist is your pseudo card draw in this deck. Just plop him down whenever you can, especially once he has been buffed to about 5, which discounts a lot of stuff in the game already. And if you get Eliza Goreblade out of your searches with Toy Snatching Geist, and good god, you're gonna be swimming in a lot of advantage from there. Apart from that, yeah, it's a very simple deck. It's you don't really need to think too much about it. Just plop minions down and hope you win from there. So, without further ado, let's get into these games.
Proxy versus Lunara.
up against Druid, and there's only one type of meta deck that Druid has right now, and it's Imbue. Although there is another deck that is rising in the ranks right now, and it's Starship. So there is that. This hand sucks, unfortunately. Although we do have a bunch of we do have an early blocker. We have card draw, quote unquote. I believe this is a keep, surprisingly. We do have to wait a little. So we're just gonna see where this leads from here. It's a little heavy. That's also another flaw with hand buff Death Knight. You start really slow. You're not gonna be playing the game until about like turn 4 to 5. So, and probably by that point, yeah, you will be run down by a decks like this. And but at the time of me recording this video, by the way, the new season will just have begun. I am in chicken rank right now in standard, but I would usually go through wild first, try to get legend there. I did get legend recently for the month of May, and it honestly feels good to reach legend with a class that you actually like playing. So there is that. Do we just go with the Geist and quote-unquote draw cards that way, or we can just go Chill Fallen Baron? But I do want to preserve my life total a little, so we could go into the Seamstress, but yeah, we're gonna draw cards first with the Geist, and they're gonna hit into that. So we're gonna search something, and an Amateur Puppeteer for 3 mana is really damn good. So we're gonna plop that down next turn, and yeah, this is why this guy is like the hidden linchpin of this deck, because he can discover some of the other stuff that you already have in your deck. So there's that. But my opponent is going to be going really wide of me, unfortunately. But once I do start setting my my minions down, it will hopefully be not too much of a problem. So we get the Puppeteer down, get our stuff rolling. I'll actually get rid of the Treant that just got to play. There we go. And my opponent will now be forced to attack into this and hopefully buff my hand up a little. There we go. And then once that happens, we'll put down the other Amateur Puppeteer, the 1 mana one. Or we could just use Chill Fallen Baron, or we can use the other Toy Snatching Geist, because it will be buffed up to 4 once my opponent kills this Puppeteer in particular. So we're gonna see. Okay, they're drawing 2 minions. Wait, is this what I think it is? Oh my god, did they fuse the Aviana deck with the Imbue Druid package? Oh my god, that will be really spicy. Holy shit, opponent. I did not know your game. Okay. So we get Blood Tap. We'll spend 2 corpses to give them insane buffs. So we're gonna put the Puppeteer down because it's a 1 mana 5/5. I'm gonna make my opponent, you know, just bash their head into a brick wall. And then next turn, we're gonna play another Geist, and that's also another flaw with this deck. You're just gonna be stalling for time until your minions get so unbelievably swole that your opponent can no longer deal with them. So there is that. You just have to play very patiently with this deck. It's not exactly an aggressive deck. It's more tempo-ish, if you can believe it. Okay, yep, definitely running into that. That is fine by me, and good god, my big minions are already pretty goddamn big. Oh my god, they are huge. Alright, we're gonna play Geist and hopefully search for a minion that is extra large. Morbid Swarm is nice and all, but we're gonna play Geist first. We're gonna quote-unquote draw a card. Let's see who we get. Getting a Rainbow Seamstress down to 0 is nice. But I think Thaurissan is also nice because it's Battle Cry and Death Rattle. Although I do have a Seamstress that is already like buffed up to the seams. So there's also that. Although we do have a Shambling Zombie Tank. But yeah, 0 mana is 0 mana. I can't exactly ignore that. And it's also a little bit of healing, so there's that. So we heal a bit. And it's also corpses, so and we do need 5 corpses to make an additional copy of the zombie tank. So there is that. So we're gonna spend... I mean, I would, but I don't think I'm going to. That is an interesting conundrum. But yeah, we'll just spend the 2 corpses, we'll kill this, and then my opponent will now have to deal with an 8-7. I am not generating a lot of corpses, sadly, but hopefully I will get to that eventually. Yeah, opponent is okay, cool. They did find a way around it, so that is fine by me. If they're not going to be setting any minions, okay, they did. Unfortunate. Let's see. Oh, Sanguine Infestation. Don't mind if I do. I will draw my 2 cards. Thank you very much. And ooh, nothing can catch my hound. And then we will bash into that, get rid of the Divine Shield. There we go. We have 8 cards in hand, and this is the situation that you will find yourself with this deck very often. You have a lot of cards in hand. This deck doesn't exactly draw well, but because you're not exactly playing too many minions all at once during your turn, you're gonna be stuck with a lot of stuff in your hand most of the time. And again, the leeches have pseudo taunt. Your opponent's gonna want to kill these as soon as possible because having a reduced life total can be the death of you more often than not. Oh, good God, this deck is so fun. It's so different from the aggro stuff that you see on Hearthstone these days. Because, I mean, granted, Paladin already did the hand buff thing before, but using it with using those nearly parallel strats with Death Knight is definitely a breath of fresh air. And I am gonna sneeze, so excuse me for a second. Okay, I am back, and ooh, that is interesting. So we don't have enough corpses, unfortunately. So what we're going to do instead is play the Brittlebone Buccaneer, and then play a minion with a Death Rattle, and that would be the Chillfallen Baron. There we go. So now we'll get to draw a couple more cards out of it, and we can even get rid of our Taunt minion here. There we go. There we go. That dies, that also dies, and let's see what my opponent thinks about that. Okay, yep, I mean, I'll only be draining 1, but that's usually more than enough. In most cases, I think I'll need to play the Seamstress next turn. But if my opponent does manage to deal with all of this, then I will definitely gain enough corpses in order to make additional copies of these zombie tanks. So we're gonna see how far my opponent goes from here. And the Quilter only being at 6 power definitely sucks a little. But let's just hope that Xavius draws me into another what was that minion? The Puppeteer. So we're gonna see. Okay, that is to be expected. I'll probably need to gain another corpse by attacking into that using the Dreadhound. So we're gonna see. Okay, Grateful Oath, I'm assuming. Oh, okay, dealing 4 to me instead. And wow, ignoring me and going for my ignoring my board rather and going for my face. I mean, kudos to my opponent for that. Definitely the right choice. Definitely the right choice. Now we need to stall for a little. So we're gonna put that down. There we go. Then we're gonna put the Seamstress down. She has Lifesteal and Rush. There we go. Then we're gonna swing for 9. There we go. Do I make even more? No, I'm gonna make even more corpses. I'm gonna attack into this guy actually. There we go. I need to gain even more corpses so that the Spinel Spellstone, that is a sentence, that is a word combination and a half, so that I can have it, give my undead +3/+3 eventually. But yeah, my opponent's facing pretty stiff competition right now, and okay, they gain 6 health, so I'm doing a lot of my work, unfortunately. But he does have a couple of bodies to get through, so that is definitely a minus for him. But knowing Imbue Druid, they probably have a way through it. So we're gonna see. They're thinking about casting something. They do have 5 mana, so that may get them somewhere. So there is that. And it's actually just sad that Imbue Druid fell off quite hard ever since the nerfs. I mean, they literally just lost Sing-Along Buddy, and that was apparently more than enough to bring them down a couple of notches, because a 1-mana nerf is sometimes enough to depower certain decks. I mean, granted, it also doesn't help that Imbue Druid can't exactly ramp, because your deck needs to consist to just mostly be nature spells, so you can't have new heights in the deck. So there is that. Okay, yep, Mark of the Wild. So getting rid of one of my minions. Okay, not doing that. That is fascinating. Okay, cool. All right, that is to be expected. I guess we draw our one card. Yeah, we draw our one card. There we go. Another Sanguine Infestation. That is fine. So we can do that. So we draw two. No Muncher is two no Munchers is nice. So now, do we gain a little bit of health? Yes, we will. There we go. We have been gaining health because of that. There we go. We swing again. We have 5 corpses. We have 9 cards in hand. So we play this guy. We play the zombie tank. There we go. There we go. So we only have +2/+2, so we need to get a couple more corpses, and we will be swimming. There we go. So we kill that. Their next hero power will be 0, but I don't think I care because I am quite at an advantage. Oh dear God, Malorn! If they get Ursoc here, I will be shit fucked. Holy! Oh no. I mean, Ursoc definitely gets him out of this. Or they could also have Ursol, but I don't know what big spell. No, Imbue Druid does have a big spell, and that is Shaladrasil, but I don't think they can. Oh, okay. Omen is also really good. All right, cool. They need to get past my my taunts first. If they don't get past this, then okay, cool. All right, 3 damage across the board. That is fine. I draw 1 card. Blood tap even. Ooh. All right. So Quilter will be very, very buff, and yeah, my hand will be very, very buff with this. So we get blood tap, then we use the spellstone. There we go. Make my boys and girls really, really huge. Wait, do we just attack? Quote unquote. No, I don't think we win here yet. Wow, it's sad that we don't win here. That is sad. Oh wait, no, we still have a Brittle Bone Buccaneer, so we can play this. Then we do this. Oh wait, no, I should have played the Puppeteer instead. Oh well. We need more corpses, so we attack into this, so that dies. And let's see what my opponent does. Okay, yep, to be expected. So we gain a corpse out of that, and then my opponent will inevitably buff my whole hand even more. This deck is so fun when it pops up like this. Granted, we are just in chicken rank, so this offers the best possible chance for my deck to shine, unfortunately. So there's that, and oh god, one of the toy snatching guys is already like a 23-23. The Quilter will definitely be hitting pretty goddamn hard once we do get to that. Oh god! Alright, let's see what you get, Yogg. What wheel do you spin? Alright, fill the board with random minions, then give yours rush. Oh dear god, what do we get? Nothing too interesting, unfortunately. His minions have rush, so there is that. Okay, cool. So that happened. Okay, cool. Attack at that. Sure. I don't know what that did. 1 damage to his board. Thank you for killing some of his stuff. I do have Kalekgos, so my first spell each turn will cost 0. I guess that matters. Okay. I don't know what my opponent's gonna do here, but yeah, well played indeed. You are a true find indeed. But now I just need to get through this opponent, so excuse me for a second. There we go. Alright. I'm not even gonna summon my stuff anymore. I'm just gonna swing in with Whizbang and Ryla. That was one hell of a game. Oh my god. Yeah, this is the hand buff Death Knight experience, everyone. See you in the next game. Up against Mage. There's only really one meta Mage deck right now, and it's Protoss. So we may be up against a control deck here. This hand doesn't exactly do a lot, so we need to mulligan away these two, and hope that we draw into the Puppeteer. And then we combo it with the Buccaneer here, and we got what we needed. fortunately. So the best way to do this is to play Buccaneer on 4, then Puppeteer on 5. So there's that. Then let's greet my opponent, see if they greet back. We'll do this and that. And then, oh, hey, somebody greeted. So thanks. Thanks, opponent. Not everybody is that accommodating, unfortunately. Oh, okay, we're dealing with Imbue. So let's see how far my opponent goes. We're gonna go face because we can. There we go. That zombie dies. Then, again, we're gonna play this on 4. Then we're gonna... Ooh, opponent is playing the Spice. I don't recall Imbue Mage ever having Creature of Madness. I guess it's just a way to have bodies on board while they're building up their Imbue, but I don't think this is necessary, unfortunately. But, I mean, it's my opponent. They built the deck, so we're gonna find out how far it gets them. We're not gonna blood tap just yet, because we need more bodies. There we go. Or rather, by bodies, I mean we need more corpses. There we go. So we just pass back, and I may actually just play Sanguine Infestation next turn, and then play Blood Tap the turn after. Because my opponent is gonna have enough bodies on board in order that will they'll just immediately kill the Brittle Bone Buccaneer. So having these 2 pseudo taunt minions are going to be very, very helpful. So they'll definitely suck away the life from the Creature of Madness there. That is to be expected. I didn't play a minion, so there is that. But they will transform. They will likely transform into the Buccaneer because that's exactly my plan for next turn. So there is that. And we're gonna see how far we go from here. Quilter hasn't been buffed just yet, unfortunately. So we're gonna blood tap. There we go. And then I could use Dreadhound Handler now that I think about it. But they will become copies, and that is very sad. But I don't exactly have a choice. So they'll become copies, 3-4 copies to be specific. I guess killing one of them is mandatory, unfortunately. And then be sad that my opponent has really a lot of advantage over me. Like, holy shit, did not expect this out of Mage. They even have like this random asteroid card. Okay, cool. I may just lose here because their mid-range plan is far better than mine. So there is that. Yeah, my Buccaneer will just be far too vulnerable if I leave it out there, and that is unfortunate. So similar to what I said before, don't be shy to just plop down your defenses, just so that you can stall for time. And once it seems that you've bought enough time, then that's when you start deploying the other stuff. So let's just hope that I do have enough time, and we're gonna see. They do have a couple of cards in hand. Then they've been imbuing. Oh, now they don't have any mana. Great. They will spend a lot of the resources clearing my board, so there is that. Quilter, how big are you? 4/6. All right, we're gonna give you the poison breath. Hopefully that will get you somewhere. So we're gonna find out. All right, cool. Okay, cool. My opponent nearly killed his entire board just to clear mine. So there is that. All right, cool. Now to do this. Now that we're at 7 mana, a minion with taunt is in the way. Great. I completely forgot about that. So there you go. I think, well, we're not exactly stable yet, so that is the problem. They have to punch through the Puppeteer twice in order to get to my minions, unfortunately. So there is that. Although their imbue power can get past all of this anyway, so we're just gonna hope and pray that this gets us somewhere. All right, cool. If the Quilter does get into a decent enough power, I can just wipe my opponent's board. So there is that. Okay, cool. That is to be expected. Now they're gonna attack at that. That is fine. And then I can actually just take advantage of the death rattle of that thing. Now that I'm looking at it. Wait, hold on. This has a death rattle. I forgot it had that. Okay, cool. Now we get the Quilter. There we go. Then we give it poisonous. There we go. My opponent's board will now be wiped. For social distancing. Oh my god, that is... oh my god, that is such a name for an achievement. Oh my god, Blizzard. Oh my god. Okay, sure. That is to be expected. Okay. Yep. Did not expect him to live. Did not expect the Buccaneer to live too much longer. Okay. Yep. Yeah. Sure. 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 Okay. The Quilter is still alive, surprisingly. I did not expect him to live. Okay. So we just get another Buccaneer. I probably should have buffed him up, but I think we'll be fine. I don't have any more minions. That is sad. So we'll draw 2 cards, see what we get. We got a No Muncher. Ooh. We should buff that up. So there we go. There we go. Alright, we have 6 corpses. I guess we just swing in. There we go. And the Quilter will take care of my opponent's board. There we go. Boom, 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 boom. There we go. I don't think I suddenly stabilized. That is amazing. I don't know why I suddenly stabilized, but again, I could just die at any moment here. Oh my god. I am still not in the safe zone because my life total is at 11, so I could just die with the imbue. Oh my god. Okay, sure. Nerubian Swarm Guard. That is... Wait. Oh, my opponent's just dead. He has no blockers. Okay then, I did not realize my opponent didn't have any blockers. Let's move on to the next game. Up against Warlock, and Control Warlock is the name of the game in Standard, and I hate it. He said a lot of things, and I wasn't listening in the slightest. We're gonna keep Savius because that's a tutor for a creature in the deck. Hopefully we get it. Geist is a tutor. But it's a random tutor. Ooh, okay, that is fine. Our hand is now loaded to the gills. We're gonna turn on light here. We're gonna turn on these candles.
Care to make a bargain?
No, I'm not going to make a bargain, Gul'dan. I know your lore, unfortunately. So we swing in for our 1. There we go. And we're gonna get rid. We're gonna destroy the front gate of Scholomance Academy. There we go. Okay. Oh, this is not Wheel of Death. This is Wallow. So they're gonna try to get the charge Dark Gift as soon as possible, and hopefully kill me with their Wallow. But if there is one thing about this deck in particular, it does play a lot of minions. It does play minions that can outsize Wallow by a significant margin. And like I said, if you get Eliza Goreblade, oh boy, you're gonna get it. 2 mana for Eliza Goreblade. Jesus fucking Christ. Oh boy, that is a discount. Oh my god. And I can even, oh my god, I can even do the death rattle thing on her. Oh yes, 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 yes. As much as I want to swing into the guy, as much as I want to use the guys to swing into that, I'm pretty sure my opponent's just gonna use the Creature of Madness to swing into my Geist. So, that is also fine in my book. But let's, I mean, I do have the quote-unquote combo here, with Eliza and the Brittlebone Buccaneer. So, yep, to be expected. So that the, that 4-2 can survive. But, I have this. Something for the death rattles. There you go, opponents. Please kill it. Please kill it. Come on. I know you want to. Or you can just kill the Buccaneer, which is does nearly the same thing. Although if you kill the Buccaneer, then that will set me back by a couple of turns, but not really by too far. But if I draw another Buccaneer, then I will be very, very golden. But if I do indeed do that, I will need to... Or rather, if I don't do that, I'll use Xavius first to search for a Buccaneer. And hopefully give it a decent buff. So, let's see. Finally, this is the road that I prefer out of the Scholomance board. So, opponent's thinking. So, they are thinking. And, okay. Their own Xavius. So, I mean, they are a Wallow deck, so they need all of the... Oh dear god. They need all of the dark gifts that they can get. Especially in this... yep, to be expected. They get rid of that. So now, we go with Eliza here. There we go. So all of our minions now have +1. which means my leeches can now attack. Ooh, that is spicy. Do I buff my minions in hand first? I guess I should. Then I gain a little bit of health back. I guess it's for later. Yeah, we're gonna search first. I'm gonna save the stuff that I have in hand. We're gonna see who we get. Dreadhound Handler with charge. That is interesting. Plus 3 attack and lifesteal. I mean, she already has lifesteal all by herself. So I guess getting the Swarm Guard because we're gonna be buffing next turn. That is definitely a thing. It does get Divine Shield and Wind Fury. That is an insane combination. Good God. And it has taunt, and the Swarm Guards have taunt by default. So, oh my God. So these guys, a lot of they will all be having like +2 thanks to Eliza here. Good God. Oh, this card is so fucking cracked. Holy shit. And there's also like another version of this deck that only has Eliza in Xavius' spot. But the build is, I believe, only slightly different than the one that you saw in the deck. So, if you can even call it that. But then again, this deck is very, very simple. Just have a lot of taunt minions so that you can stall for time long enough so that you can have a board that's big enough to kill your opponent within 2 turns. So, and don't be shy just plopping down minions because you do need to buy a lot, and I mean a lot of time with this deck. So, keep that in mind as you play this goddamn monstrosity of a deck. Oh boy, it's honestly really fun. So there's also that. Spells, the spells down. Sure, that is fine. I think I'll just go face. Then put this down for my opponent to worry about. And then actually we'll put that down as well. So we have 2 taunts. There we go. So we have a +4/+4 at the ready. And then my opponent's gonna be sweating a little from here. Let's see what they do. Okay, they're thinking about it. They have something in hand. Okay, they have a table flip. Right, cool. So they kill 2 of my minions that give buffs to the stuff that I have. Corridor Sleeper. I remember the controversy. I've only heard stories of the controversy. Controversy. I don't know which one. There was a lot, and I mean a lot of angry people about the Corridor Sleeper. Like, good God. So we get Blood Tap. Improve the stuff that I have in hand. Thank you very much. We don't have enough mana to play everything, but we can play a couple of things. This is an 11/9. Ooh. Do we get the Geist? We only have enough for not all of it, sadly. So I guess we just do this. We draw our 2 cards. There we go. They're 2/2s, which means they can attack. And I can summon 2 ants that have 3 attack. There we go. All right. So we suck it up. There we go. And then oh God. this feels so odd that the leeches can attack. Good God. Now they don't have taunt. Smarter than I look. Why? Do you have something in your hand, opponent, that can kill me? Ah, okay. Did you have charge? Okay, you have charge. Yep. To be expected. I mean, it's a wallow deck. What can you expect? Once they have what they needed, I was dead to wallow anyway. Let's move on to the next game. Up against a fellow Death Knight. So we are up for some insane mid-range goodness here. I think it's safe to mulligan the Geist here and aim for something lower on the curve, but we don't exactly have too many things that are low on the curve in this deck. Oh my God, the curve of this deck starts at around 3, so there are only so few cards that are like 2 below, or rather below 3. Oh my God, but I think this is fine. Again, play Buccaneer on 4, then hopefully Puppeteer on 5, so there is that. But we are going first, and ooh, that's actually a good draw on the opener. So this has a lot of interactables. So while my opponent is thinking about what to play here, we're just gonna... Oh, wait, I forgot to pass the turn. Sorry, opponent. Sorry. I thought I passed the turn there, but we're gonna play a little while my opponent thinks. And, ooh, they didn't have anything, so that is only mildly concerning. So we swing in. Then, let's see what they do. I'm gonna solve this Rubik's Cube, goddammit, and I'm gonna solve that first. before I do anything else. Okay, there we go. Alright, this is Starship Death Knight. So, we are up for some mid-range goodness here. So, we'll get the Baron down. There we go. Draw our 1 card. We got a Dreadhound Handler. Then, next turn, we're gonna play the Buccaneer into the Puppeteer. A lot of ear sounds. So, okay, we got swung and then we got sucked. There we go. Ooh, that is nice. But I believe my opponent's just gonna swing into this, and I would be very sad. We could go with our own leeches and get rid of their leech, but they're both like equal life totals, so oh well, we're just gonna risk it. If we don't get it, then it's just the way of life, unfortunately. Alright, cool. We use the leech to get rid of their leech. Then I'm assuming that they're gonna use the what's this called again? They're gonna use their guiding figure to get rid of one of the leeches. Again, these things have pseudo taunt because your opponent will want to get rid of these as soon as possible because again, reduced maximum health total. That's the key with this with that specific combination. Ooh, so we play the Buccaneer here. Then we play the Dreadhound Handler, or we play the Geist. I think we play the Geist first, now that I think about it. Oh wait, no. Dreadhound Handler, definitely, because I forgot that we have the Buccaneer. So, we do this, then the Buccaneer comes back. There we go. Or rather, the Handler comes back. And then, 4 damage to a minion. No, I'll just summon 2 ants. We're gonna get a lot of bodies on board. We're gonna go a little wide here. There we go. And then, if the Buccaneer survives to my turn, we're gonna play the Puppeteer. Then, start buffing up our minions that way. Let's see how far my opponent takes this, though. If at all. But, they are gonna be thinking a lot because, this, Death Knight Death Knight has firmly established itself as the more mid-rangey archetype here on Hearthstone. And I honestly love mid-range archetypes. So there's that. Okay, yep, we're gonna do that. And then, okay, that was upgraded. It seems like a waste to use Poison Breath on these things, but, you know, better than nothing. Wait, hold on. Just 1 attack will be more than enough. There we go. There we go. They're gonna search. They're now gonna tutor for their highest cost minion. So now we're gonna swing in at their armor. Hopefully chink it down. We could go into Xavius here. Try and tutor something. Okay, there we go. I completely ignored the Puppeteer. Oh my god. Ooh! Where? Thank you, Xavius. Good thing I was patient. Blood Drive. That's probably a lich-related achievement. Also, another thing that I never realized was an interactable here, where these are cups. I'm not quite sure what they are, but click them enough times and they will flip. So then we're gonna draw a Murloc with the pencil. Gonna ring the bell. Then we're gonna punch the cash register until you can't punch it no more. Then we're gonna keep twisting that wheel until we can activate that robot. Okay, corpse explosion to be expected. There we go. We're going to be gaining a lot of corpses out of this, though. Okay, my undead will now be swole to Kingdom Come. So, play that for 1 mana. There we go. Play the Puppeteer. Thank you for letting that live. So, we swing for 1, swing for 1, and then we play the other one. Buff my hand up even more. Oh, boy. Oh, boy, the Quilter with Poison Breath. Oh! Oh, that's gonna be juicy. Oh, I love it so much. Oh my god, I love this combination so much. Yeah, this is why you have this rather than the Wild Pyromancer. But again, the normal combination is Poison Breath with Wild Pyromancer. So there is that. Okay, cool. Ghoul Charge. Come on, swing into the 1/1. Nothing's gonna happen there. Okay, we have a backup Brittle Bone Buccaneer, so that is fine. This already has Reborn, so I think I prefer to save that for later. So I guess we just play the Baron, draw our 1. Let's see what we get. We got a Swarm Guard, so that is a good draw. I forgot that that was in the way. So we'll do this. It gets rid of save, yes, unfortunately, but I think it's necessary. There we go. Okay, so our Geist is now slightly bigger. Then we swing in. There we go. We can make the Swarm Guard even bigger, but we're gonna play the Geist here. See what we tutor up. Having something be reduced by 7 is insane. Chillmaw is definitely one of them. a zero mana 6/6. Oh boy, that is nice. There we go. Then we'll just swing in for 1 extra point of damage, just for the corpses, because we're gonna need it for later. So my opponent is, I believe they're on the back foot here. Unless they draw into a board wipe, which I believe doesn't really exist for Death Knight at the moment. I mean, except for, of course, Corpse Explosion. Okay, they're gonna draw a card and gain 10 health. That is fine by me. They're just gonna stall until they get what they need. But I don't know if I can actually just, power through it. So we're gonna find out. So there's that. Then we're gonna swing in with all of our minions. There we go. Do I just play the Quilter, then just deal an additional 9 points of damage? Huh. I could do that. Yeah, sure. I have another one in hand, so it could, this could just, put my opponent on one hell of a back foot. And if he doesn't deal with it, then he definitely dies. And if he does use a corpse, he can't exactly use a corpse explosion because he doesn't have the corpses. Okay, go. Wild Pyro into Poison Breath, which will wipe the whole board, including his own. But my stuff has Reborn, opponent. My stuff has Reborn, so I'm not quite sure what you were expecting out of that. Then we get the Puppeteer down because this already has Reborn, thanks to the Dark Gift. Okay, cool. That is fine. I'm assuming the... oh, it sucks the... that one instead. That is interesting. So we attack into that. There we go. That eliminates that. We have 10 mana and we have 9 ways to spend it. There we go. There we go. Then we put that one there, and then we put this one here. There we go, opponent! There we go. Let's move on to the next game. Up against Death Knight yet again. And I may be performing really well right now, guys, but trust me when I say that this deck falls off pretty goddamn quickly. Especially once you reach gold. Because a lot of the better decks just simply do far more than what this deck does. And like I said in the beginning, this deck is just slow. You only really start doing stuff until about turn 4 to 5. And that's usually the kill turn for some decks, unfortunately. So we're just going to greet my opponent there. And then I have never been able to actually trigger this well. I've only been able to get the pie. But there are apparently other foodstuffs that you can get. But I sadly have not been able to get it. So there is that. We got Xavius, so that's not going to do much. But we're going to play the Handler. And I don't think we can do anything else. So there is that. And I mean, if he plays his Handler to get rid of my Handler, that is fine by me. Those are corpses for my corpse collection in order to... for me to do the things that I need to do. Although we don't have our Puppeteer yet. So I may use... Xavius next turn because I have a coin and I will search for it using Xavius. Okay, that is not the Puppeteer. We are looking for the Puppeteer. Hopefully we get it with Xavius. We did not, but we do have a way to get into it eventually. Ooh, Rainbow Seamstress with Reborn seems nice, but Nerubian Swarm Guard with +2/+2 and Elusive is equally insane. I have a difficult choice. I will be at 4 mana next turn, so yeah, we're just gonna play on curve. We're gonna go face, and we're just gonna stall until we get the Puppeteer. Unfortunate that we didn't get it there. Then on turn 5, we're gonna play Buccaneer into the Chill Fallen Baron. Okay, they have a Xavius of their own. I was gonna say Xavier. Why was I gonna say Savior? That's a completely different character, and I might even get copyrighted for that one. Okay, yep. They're gonna draw their one card by killing that. I have a Doggo that I can use for corpses, and I will do that now. There we go. Then swing for 4 at my opponent's face. I can't. Yeah, I should just play the Swarm Guards. There we go. And it creates copies of itself. Good God, those are huge, especially at this point in the game. Thank you, Xavius, for giving that buff. Then Buccaneer into Chill Fallen Baron. Oh, they had a board wipe. Right, to be expected. It is Death Knight after all. Opponent, do not make the mistake. Do not make that mistake unless this isn't what I think it is. That's why they're pointing at Xavius. Come on. It's only on undead, not on demons. So everyone dies, including the Pyromancer. There we go. Alright. So now we're gonna draw cards with the Chill Fallen Baron, and hopefully we get somewhere with that. But my opponent is handling this situation pretty goddamn well. So now, one thing I just realized recently, and again, I think I mentioned this in the previous video, because sometimes when you're interacting with stuff, you don't just click, 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 click. Sometimes you press and hold. So we get the Buccaneer, then we play the Baron, and that will give us 3 draws that will hopefully get us to the Puppeteer, because I have not found the Puppeteer yet. Although we are only like 10 cards deep into our deck, so we are still pretty far from that. Let's see what my fellow Death Knight player is gonna do here. Let's see. I mean, they are thinking. They're thinking really hard. And Bookpacorn. I don't know what that name means, unfortunately. But let's see what my opponent does. They're thinking. They're gonna buff it up, maybe? Choose a friendly minion, discover a spell that costs 4 or less. Okay. I remember getting that card, and I wasn't exactly impressed with it. I think that's a waste of an epic. There are other cheaper cards, and by cheaper I mean cheaper on the rarity scale. That yeah, choose a friendly discover a spell that costs 4 or less for it to cast when it dies. Sure. There is that. So that guy lives again. Okay, Chill Fallen Baron again. I believe we don't need to get into combat because we have Sanguine Infestation. For that. Okay, cool. Rainbow Seamstress is nice. So we get Sanguine Infestation down. We draw our 2 cards. Finally found the Puppeteer. And there we go. We have 9 cards in hand. So we'll use Blood Tap to improve the stats of our minions. There we go. Swinging for 2. Then we'll use the leeches to suck up the Baron. I mean, they do draw an extra card, but I don't think it matters. Then if the Buccaneer survives, we will have the Puppeteer with a Reborn, and that will be an easy +8/+8 on just 1 card. Sure, that's fine. Oh, she doesn't get her battle cry if she's ratted. Okay, cool. I mean, none of my stuff actually cares about Battlecry. The only one that cares is the Seamstress, so there is that. Okay, my board is wiped, unfortunate, but I believe it's fine, surprisingly. I guess we just put down the Puppeteer nonetheless. Yeah? Yeah, there isn't a better opportunity, sadly. So we just put down Seamstress, or rather the Puppeteer. Then we play the other Puppeteer. There we go. Do we just spend mana for the corpses? Yes, we will. Because my opponent just cleaned the board. There we go. Again, these are just corpse fodder, so that we have more in stock, quote unquote. Should come to that. Ooh, hey! Leeches. Thank you, opponent. At least it's all directed at my minions. All of these sucking, rather, is directed at my minions, not at my face. So that is good. I guess we just do the combo of Quilter with the poison. There we go. Then we just go face, and then I guess we just play the handler, or we just leave that to buff it up. That is interesting. But I believe I think I just need more bodies. There we go. Okay, there we go. 1, 2, 3, and ooh, one got left behind. That is sad. But I think it's just fine. At least we still we got rid of most of it. Having 3 leeches is a problem. And we do need another way to buff stuff up. Oh, I mean, we do have the puppeteer, but good god. I would have preferred more. So, well, hopefully we get there. But otherwise, my opponent is gonna get there. It's gonna get very far ahead of me, unfortunately. Alright, cool. So his leeches suck for 2 rather than 3. Good god. Thankfully, this was buffed. Or rather, this was nerfed. Because having leeches steal like 3 a turn is insane. Okay, yep. To be expected. The Rubian Swarm Guard, we are not drawing what we need, unfortunately. So we do that. Buccaneer is fine. I guess we just swing for 10. That is fascinating. I guess we just play this. Yeah, we just play it. Yeah, we just play it. Because we'll be drawing a card soon. So there we go. 1, 2. All right, cool. There we go. And we got rid of most of my opponent's board. All right, cool. That is fun. There is a decent amount of back and forth between me and my opponent. Oh, sure. That is fine by me. You just got another no muncher. Oh, boo. You have another wild pyro. Fine. Oh, okay. You don't have it. Cool. That's just 1 damage. It's not. Well, fucking hell. Oh, he gave it reborn so that he has another chance to do it again. Okay, cool. I mean, I respect that. Definitely respectable. So now, now that my board is sufficiently pumped up, wait, do I just use the seamstress to kill this? I could do that, or I can just use the handler so that it's slightly cheaper. So yeah, I'll do that. Play the buccaneer, play the handler, kill this guy before he causes any further problems. There we go. Kill this guy as well. Then, play the seamstress, play the geist, so that we search something. Who do we get? We got another quilter, but Sour Fang. We can get that for next turn. There we go. And this only has rush, unfortunately. I could have attacked into the Dreadhound, but I think it's fine. It's fine. So we're gonna see how far we go from here. This was only buffed by +2/+2 because there was only 1 instance of it happening. Okay, cool. This is the version of Ziliax that summons a copy of itself. I remember when I first started in Hearthstone, I had this. But by that point standards, it was way too good, unfortunately, and they had to nerf the boy to the state that you see today. So, what do we do from here? I guess attempt to get rid of one of the copies, unfortunately. Sour Fang is something, but so I guess we go with the Geist, see if we tutor something useful. We do indeed, and it's a no muncher. So it will be reduced to 0, so that's always nice. And then we'll use the shambling zombie tank to have even more taunt minions. There we go. Alright, cool. Now that 1 Ziliax is out of the way, we only have to deal with 1 other Ziliax. So we do have enough corpses, but we do need to have the other puppeteer, and we are down to the last 7 cards in the deck, so that is bad. Opponent is fighting this pretty goddamn well, so there is that. Okay, cool. They're gonna give it reborn. That is fine. So they're gonna be gaining a lot of health out of this, and then those are gonna suck. There we go. Let's see what else we got. Blood Tap is fine. There we go. We got the Swarm Guards down. Then we also get Sour Fang. No wait, that's 3. Return this to the hand, cost health instead of mana. I think we need to get rid of that guy, unfortunately. So we do this. There we go. That's for 1. Sadly, I don't think we'll be able to hit it. Good God, this is way harder than I thought. There we go. I guess putting Fang down is the only option that we have, unfortunately. So, there we go. I could have put the Quilter down, but it doesn't have enough attack power to contest my opponent's board. And, oh boy, this has been a really tight game, and I love it. And Rolly in bronze. Oh, good God, I love it. I love when Hearthstone is this kind of grindy. Not too grindy, but just grindy enough. Good God, how many leeches do you have? Oh my God. But we're gonna see. Let's see how far I get from here. If at all. So let's see what else my opponent does. I mean, they could just not attack because it's not profitable to attack. Because if he attacks into any one of my minions, Ziliax will be... Wow, he's still gonna do it nonetheless. Ziliax will be reborn. I'm going to use one of my other minions to attack into Ziliax. And hopefully do something else from there? Question mark? I mean, there are 4 leeches on board, so there is that. Okay, Dreadnought Handler will easily take care of one of my other minions. Sure, my opponent is at 65 health, so that will be... I will need to work a little hard to get to what I need. We will be going to fatigue potentially here. Geist is not nothing, unfortunately. But we're gonna use a ghoul to get rid of the blocker. Then swing into my opponent's face. Then use the Geist to hopefully search for something useful. Stitch and Sew is not it, unfortunately. Summon the 5 costs. So this will cost 4. We need a way to buff this guy up. So we get Stitch and Sew. Hopefully we get 3 minions that are good enough. Destroy a minion with attack less than this. Ooh, that is nice. But having another taunt minion is also good. But this does have the biggest booty. And so does this, actually. Ooh. End of your turn. Actually, yeah. This is... Actually, no. We should do that. Rafam. Or rather, Shafar. We'll get Mukla. And then our lowest cost one. We get the Tar Slime. There we go. And then we pass back to our opponent. There we go. Alright. Alright, opponent. We are both literally down to the wire. Let's see who outgrinds who. I mean, my minions are slightly bigger than yours, but you have a lot of leeches that don't really need to attack. Thus preserving your... Wow, he is choosing to do that. Interesting. That is very interesting. Okay then. That is, again, really interesting that my opponent did that. Oh, because I have killed Jaden. Okay. Now we're on a timer. Great. But I don't know how good his card draw is in hand. So we're going to find out soon enough. Okay, they're going to discover 2-cost card. Hopefully it will be something that will be useful to them. So that we can keep this game... from being too disinteresting. This game is amazing, by the way. I am not joking. This is such an amazing game. Oh my god. It has rush, not charge. The minion you're looking for is in wild, unfortunately. Shambling zombie tank is nice and all, but we need to use Geist here. Hopefully we get someone that is useful. Eliza is not it, unfortunately. So we can use the Seamstress here, but unfortunately Chill Fallen Baron is the way to go. 0 mana draw 1 is pretty goddamn nice. That is not it, unfortunately. So we swing for 4, and I will happily accept defeat here. So there is that. I will even pay health for Sour Fang here. And well, oh god. There's the final puppeteer, and it's too little too late, unfortunately. So I'll just see you guys either at the end screen or at somehow I crawl out of this game. Okay, we're here at the end screen, and it's a really, really fun deck. I don't know how much more can I describe this deck. and other than it's just super goddamn fun. You don't need to think too hard. Just have to analyze your situation just a little and see which minion is appropriate for the situation. Again, if you need card draw, you have, you only have two quote unquote card draw spells. I mean, Sanguine Infestation is the only card draw spell, but Geist can also get you out of certain situations, especially if you discover an undead that can do something impactful on entry and or has an effect that can help you in that specific situation. And then of course you have a bunch of other card draw, and of course you'll fall in Baron, and then everything else is pseudo removal. You literally use your own minions as removal. So other than that, yeah, this deck is really fun. It's really cheap. You don't need to make Xavius and the Seamstress. You can just literally have, hell, you can even double up on the Spinel Spellstone, but I can understand why why there's only one copy of it. It can get a little bricky, especially if you don't get your corpses rolling. Although you can consider having the neutral, the free neutral that they gave out when Emerald Dream was released. I think it's a neutral, if I remember correctly. I just don't remember its name, unfortunately. But it does give twice as many corpses. If I can even find him. Sadly, I don't remember how much it costs. I think it's 3 mana. Is it 3 mana? You know what? I'm not gonna stop until I actually find the guy. I think I'll just type corpse and he will show up. If at all. Unless he costs like an exorbitant amount of or rather all runes. Does he? Oh, right, because he costs unholy. Yeah, there we go. Falric. He gives you twice as many corpses, but you have to be in double unholy for that. And unfortunately, double blood is like the minimum for Death Knight in standard right now. And some even go as far as triple blood, both in standard and in wild. As the Death Knight needs to be a lot more controlling, at least in the current meta. But if you want to be more aggressive, well, go with this deck in particular. Again, it's really cheap. Most of the cards are just rares and commons, and go and just bash people's faces in. What more can I say? If you like what you saw, hit like, comment, subscribe, and share this among your friends. And until next time, toodles.